All right, so today we're going to be doing a full body dumbbell workout routine. This is going to hit all the major muscle groups of the upper body and lower body. So we're going to be hitting the chest, the arms, the back, the shoulders, and also the legs and hips. So this is going to be a follow along workout routine. I'm going to be doing the workout, and I would invite you to do the workout with me, because what our goal here is to build muscle to get stronger together. So I'm going to be starting out with a warm-up. We're going to do a circuit warm-up, doing all the different exercises to get the joints and muscles ready and to go, so that we can just jump right into it. So the first thing we're going to do is a lunge. This is going to work primarily these quad muscles, but some of the muscles in the hips as well. But primarily you should feel it right here in the front of your thigh. So for our warm-up, we're going to do body weight lunges. No dumbbells yet, just getting blood flowing into the muscle. So these shouldn't be too difficult for you, or too difficult. If you need to, start out bending down, not all the way to the ground, and then slowly work your way lower. So I'm just stepping forward, kneeling towards the ground, and then back up. I'm gonna do about 10 to 12 of these each side. It's just getting my heart rate going a little bit, getting the muscles and joints warmed up. Now the goal with this exercise is to bend the knee as much as possible. So I'm really trying to get all the way down to the ground, kneeling down to the ground. I'm stepping forward into that. You can see my upper back tries to stay straight, and that's going to make this more quad dominant, more that front of the thigh. All right. So just getting some blood flow into the legs. Now we're going to move to the hips. So for this, I am going to grab a dumbbell, but just a light one. And we're going to do a hip bridge. So you're going to rest the dumbbells right on top of your hips. And then you're going to push up, squeezing your glutes together. You should dig your heels into the ground, pushing your hips up, and then relax. If you need to, you can hold the dumbbells like this, just one over the top of the other. Just don't hold it with your arms, just let it rest on your hips. The other way to do this is just take one really heavy dumbbell and set it right on your stomach, sort of like this. But these are a little bit light for that for me, so I'm going to do it vertically. Feel this in the back of your hips. And relax. Doing about 10 to 12 of these. Just get some blood flow into the muscle. All right. So now, I'm gonna grab a bench. So we're gonna warm up the chest muscles. So for this, we're gonna do a bench press or a chest press. Heard it called both names. Let me know in the comments what you've heard it called. You're gonna have the dumbbells right over the top of your shoulders, bending your elbows, bringing the inside of the dumbbell to your chest, and then back up. Doing about 10 of these. So the goal is to really push your chest out, to open up that chest. We're actually stretching that chest muscle. Should feel that start to warm up. Now, if you get down to here and it feels a little uncomfortable in your shoulder, try and just tuck your elbows in towards your rib cage. So bring those elbows down. You can think about it like your thumbs pointing towards your face as you go down. See how the dumbbells kind of twist for me. So I'm using a light enough dumbbell where this is not especially challenging. The goal is just to get the muscle warmed up, not to really push it yet. So now we're gonna warm up the back. So still on the bench, you're gonna put one hand right below your shoulder, let the other arm hang, and then pull up to your rib cage. So this is warming up those lats. Doing about 10 to 12 of these. This is our warm-up set. We're going through all the different exercises first, warming them up, and then we'll jump into legs. And same thing on the other side. Doing about 10 to 12 of these. Try to really feel that in your lats, which run along your upper back. Just feel that muscle contracting and relaxing. Trying to get blood flow into that joint. Into that shoulder joint. And relax. I'm gonna go ahead and move the bench out of the way. I like full body exercises because you can get a lot of both muscle building and cardio benefit by compressing it into one workout. So especially doing legs, you can get your heart working without having to do a lot of running, elliptical, or exercise bike or something like that. So we're gonna jump right into legs now. So working these quad muscles, I'm going to do a lunge. So for this, you have your hands at your sides holding on to a dumbbell each side. And then you're gonna step forward, bend your knee, come back up, and then same thing on the other side. So I'm really trying to drive forward, bend my knee. We're gonna try to go for at least 5 on each side. That's 3. Doing as many as you can. Staying upright, keeping that tension on the quads. Keep going. I know it should be burning right about now in your quads. I'm gonna go for one more. And relax. All right, I'm gonna shift to a heavier dumbbell. Because next, we're gonna go for a hip bridge. I shift to a heavier dumbbell because the glutes are a very large muscle. We need a heavy dumbbell to properly challenge them. So, what I like to do, set this dumbbell right in my lap. I'm just gonna hold this secure with my hand so it doesn't roll anywhere. Feet about shoulder width apart. And from here, holding onto that dumbbells, I'm going to push down through my heels, pushing my hips up, squeezing my glutes. So pushing up, squeeze the glutes, and then back down. Now keep your knees apart. Don't let them come together like this. Keep them out at shoulder width. Doing as many reps as you can. If you can't do 5 reps, try a lighter dumbbell though, because we want to aim for at least 5. Try and push all the way up, squeeze those glutes. Feel that in the back of your hip, back of your thigh. Do as many as you can. If you need to stop, go ahead and take a break, catch your breath. Stop when you need to. And that's it for me. Whew. You can sort of roll the dumbbell to the side and then sit up. So that covers all the major muscle groups in the legs. We're hitting some of those quads, some of those adductors, and the glutes. I'm gonna take just a moment, and then we're gonna go back to lunges. So we're gonna try for 3 sets of these exercises. So we're gonna do legs, 3 sets first, then we'll go to upper body. So if you're joining me for this workout, give me a thumbs up emote in the chat or in the comments so I know that this is working for you. My goal here is to help people get started on working out, because I feel like a lot of people don't start because they aren't perfect yet. And I'm certainly not perfect yet. I'm working myself. I'm trying to get more muscle mass, lose some adipose tissue. But I think it's so important to just start, because no one starts out perfect in the gym. No one is perfect in the gym, really. Everyone is working at becoming a little bit better. So that's always true. So if I can encourage you guys to just start today, let's get working together and start building muscle, start working on your health. All right, so going for set number 2 of lunges. I'm gonna grab a dumbbell, 1 in each hand. Gonna step out 1 foot at a time and kneel down towards the ground. All right, alternating sides, doing as many as you can. Feel that burning in the front of your thigh. Now try and keep your knee in line with your foot. Don't let it buckle inwards. It's a good cardio workout too. I'm going for 8 reps. Now 7, last one, 8, and 8. Whew. So you want to go to where you feel that fatigue in the muscle. For me, I'm aiming for 1 to 2 reps away from where I can't go anymore. If my goal is to hit that, I can maybe do 1 more rep, 1 or 2. Like if a bear was chasing me, I could do 1 more rep, sort of thing. And that's where that sweet spot is of building muscle without overworking a muscle to where it breaks down too much, where it doesn't heal fast. So I'm trying to actually limit fatigue while maximizing growth. Because it would be no good if I got a little bit more growth and a lot more fatigue. So that's why I'm trying to get just before failure, so growth builds more than fatigue does, because it slows down as you get higher, but fatigue speeds up. My understanding of the current literature for it, current studies for it, is that about 2 away from total fatigue is the ideal number for that ratio of muscle growth to fatigue. But that can always, our understanding of that can change. It can get a little bit more precise. But for right now, that's where I aim for, is that 1 or 2 away. Hopefully closer to that 2 away. So we're gonna do a bridge now with the dumbbell. So putting the dumbbell right at your stomach, holding with the 2 hands, pushing down through your heels, bridging up. This will work your glutes, your hamstrings, primarily the glutes, some of your low back as well. So we're getting a little bit of that rector spinae group, those spinal erectors. So holding the dumbbell so it doesn't roll on you, pushing up to the front, trying to straighten that back, push those hips up, really squeezing those glutes. Really trying to push both sides up high as you can. Feel like you're tipping to one side. That usually means you're not pushing from both sides evenly. So try and go straight up, really pushing from both sides. One more, and relax. Roll to the side, and go ahead and sit up. I like those to really target in the glutes. I was doing squats for those, and those are great, but I find that squats and deadlifts, I get more hamstring work in the back of my thigh and less of this hip, low glute work. So I find for me, the hip bridge hits that glute a lot more, where I can really feel that burn in the glute. And I want to do those more, because I think that that's helping my low back feel better. Because when the glutes aren't working, the low back has to work double to try and keep those hips in the right spot. So I really like those glutes for how my low back feels after doing them. All right. So going back to lunges, this is set number 2, I think. Is it 2 or 3? It's 3, isn't it? Let me know in the comments if I missed a set. Yeah, it would have to be number 3. Taking just a second between sets. My legs are still feeling it pretty bad, still burning in those quads. So I'm just gonna take a moment before I go to the next set. Because I know right now I am gonna be limited by that metabolic lactic acid's still burning in my legs. So I'm gonna give just a second. I'm gonna just walk around, keep my legs moving slightly, but not so much that it's building up more lactic acid. When you move, you can actually, you can cause an enzyme called lactase dehydrogenase to break down some of that lactic acid in the muscle. So you're turning it back into energy. So if you feel like, man, I'm really not ready to go to the next set, take 30 seconds, just pace around a little bit. You could sit down, but just take a moment, catch your breath, jump into the next one. Now my heart rate hasn't actually dropped down that much, but my legs feel a little bit better where they're not burning anymore. So I'm ready to go into that third set. So going for the third set of lunges. I'm trying to aim for 8. If I don't hit 8 reps though, that's okay, as long as I get over 5 on this last set. So don't feel like you have to hit a particular number, just go to where you feel that fatigue, where you could maybe do 1 or 2 more and that's it. That's the number we're shooting for. So just 1 or 2 remaining in the tank, so to speak. All right, let's go ahead and go lunges. So stepping forward, kneeling down, back up. Then same thing on the other side and back up. I'm trying to put my weight somewhat more on my toe, keeping the heel still on the ground. Whoop. Further forward you step, the easier it is. Try and keep that back straight, standing straight and tall, really bending the knee. Going 2 more. This is 1 and 1. Keep the knee in line with the toe. 2, and that third set. And 1 more set of hip bridges and we'll go on to upper body. So I like this, it hits all these muscles in the front of the thigh. Now we're gonna work the muscles in the back of the hip and some of the back of the thigh and some of the small of the back too. So grabbing a heavy dumbbell and going to the ground. I like to set this in my lap, then holding it with 2 hands, putting the feet shoulder width apart with your weight on your heels. From here, pushing your hips up towards the ceiling, holding on with your hands though so the dumbbell doesn't roll on you. Pushing up, keeping those knees apart. Trying to go for between 5 and 20 reps. Anywhere in that range is fine. Really, actually 5 and 30 reps. But I personally like to go a little bit heavier of a dumbbell and not go so high reps because it takes a lot more time. Trying to go straight up, pushing with both hips, both sides of your hip, so you're not twisting at all. 2 more. 1 more, last one. And relax. And roll to the side, let the dumbbell fall to the ground. Well, not fall, but just set on the ground. Whew. Take a second, catch your breath. So we just worked the major muscle groups of the legs. Now we're gonna go up to the upper body. So we're gonna be working the pec. So pec major right here, the anterior deltoid, and the tricep on the first exercise. And then we're gonna be working the bicep, the lats, and then traps and the muscles in the back of the shoulder, like the rhomboids and all these little muscles that pull the shoulder blades. It is a little bit warm today. Is it hot where you guys are? You know, that always is the hardest thing for me, is overheating during a workout. I can deal with pretty much everything else, but hot weather is always the most draining to me. All right, so for the chest muscles, we're going to be doing a bench press. So I'm grabbing 40 pounds each hand because I've been doing this for a bit. I like to set the dumbbells on my knees, and then as I lean back, I push up with my knees, because that gets the dumbbells supported into the correct position. From here, I'm gonna bend my elbows. In a moment, I gotta adjust my bench. I'm a little too close to the rack. So, gotta bend my knees, push up into position. And from here, I'm gonna bring the inside of the dumbbell to my chest. So bending the elbows, tap the chest, and then back up. So I don't come back up to a locked elbow, come back up to a slight tension still. Keeping that tension on the muscle. Breathing in as you go down and out as you come up if you need. Doing as many as you can up to that point where you feel like you can only do one or two more. Relax. And setting one dumbbell down. I like to keep the same weight for this exercise because I'm using similarly sized muscles just on the opposite side. So we just worked the chest. Now we're going to work the back. So front pushing muscles, now back pulling muscles. So putting one hand right underneath the shoulder, grabbing onto that dumbbell, letting my body fully hang, trying to keep my back straight, pulling up to my rib cage, and then back. Now I'm trying to come to a full hang when I come back. That's really what's gonna lengthen that muscle, and that's probably the most growth-inducing part of the movement, is this bottom part down here. I'm counting because I want to keep it even on both sides. So I did 12 reps on that side. Now I'm going to do 12 reps on the other side. And I like to start with my non-dominant hand, my left hand. They're pretty close in strength, but just in case my right hand doesn't get bigger, I want to make sure my right hand doesn't get more exercise where I'm not even between the two sides. So doing 12 on my right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, might start slowing down. 11 and 12. The closer you are to that muscle fatigue, the slower the movement goes. That's okay. Because as you go, more and more of that muscle is used up. So it hits a point where your body can't move it as quickly anymore. That's a good sign if you start slowing down. Means you are hitting that muscle failure point, or that point of maximum growth, or approaching it. Whew. My heart's going pretty fast right now. I like doing lifting like this because I actually get a cardio benefit where I'm keeping my heart rate elevated for a prolonged period of time to build up that heart muscle as well. So not only are we strengthening the muscles in the upper body, lower body, but we're also strengthening our heart. So getting a lot of benefit across the board with this one. Also can be changing how the blood flow to the muscle is going. So as we work, it can change the capillaries in the muscle, and that can lead to a reduced peripheral pressure for blood pressure. So a lot of benefits of working out, doing resistance training. Whew. All right, that was set number 1. So we got 2 more sets left to go. I try and do 3 sets per workout, because if I do 3, 3, and 3 through the week on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, then I get 9 total for the week. I'm aiming more than 5 is good, but the more sets I can get in, the faster I'll grow. So I'd encourage you, try and get as many sets as you can fit in the workout while still being recovered again by the time you're ready to work out again. So if you're able to recover from that soreness and be ready to go by Wednesday, that's great. You need to take a little bit more time, or maybe a little fewer sets. That is okay. If you can do 2 sets, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, that'll be 6 overall, and that's still gonna give you some growth. So you might need to work a little while, try a couple weeks, come back and see if you can do 3 sets. I know some people even do 4 or 5 sets in a workout. That's a little bit much for me right now, but that's my where I would like to get eventually, is building up more sets. So this is set number 2 for chest press or bench press using dumbbells. So from here, I'm gonna drop the weights down to where the inside of the dumbbell touches my chest, pushing my chest out, feeling that tension, pushing back up. Now I don't lock out my elbows, go up to just before I lock to keep tension on that muscle. Try and go for at least 5, and if I can, more like 10. I'm gonna go for 12. You can see I'm starting to slow down as I hit closer to that fatigue point. Could maybe do 1 or 2 more, and that's where I'm gonna stop and move on to the next exercise. So doing a supported row, working all these muscles in the back, upper back, back of my shoulder, and bicep right in here. So the more frequently you work out, the further away from failure you want to be, up to a point. If you only work out once a week, you could probably go closer to failure, where you just cannot lift the weight anymore. But but it's more optimal to go a little further away from failure and work out more often. Last one, and 12. That was a thing that took me a long time to learn. I was constantly going to failure, where I just literally could not push the weight up anymore. And it was building up so much fatigue. I was actually missing workouts because I was not healed. And either I would push into it and get injured, or just not be able to push and just overtrain. And that set me back a lot. So now trying for 12 on this right arm as well, hanging all the way to the ground and pulling up. And 12. Whew. How are you guys doing? Should be sweating at this point. You're a little red in the face, a little bit sweating. That's totally normal. It means we're working hard. It's how you would want it to be. If you're not sweating and you've been working out, make sure you're hydrated. So you're drinking water, because if you actually, it's very easy to overheat. So make sure you're refueling your body with water, or recharging your body with water, and a little bit of salt maybe, because you're losing water and salt. So we want to make sure we're getting a little bit of that back in. So we're almost done. We've got one more set to do for chest and back, and then we can cool down, call it a day. So if you're liking these sorts of workouts and want to see more, I host these workouts on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So feel free to come work out with me. We're gonna build muscle together. So if you're looking for someone to work out with, someone to encourage you, someone to help you, or if you just want to hang out and talk about working out, talk about ideas, just, maybe just to commiserate, or to have someone along that journey with you. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm here. Whew. All right, last set. I'm gonna move this up just a little bit. Feel a little too close to that wall. So last set. Try and straighten my back as I get into position. So I kick back, I'm not rounded forward. And I've got my shoulder blades set. They don't want to be up here. You want to set those shoulder blades. So when I kick back, I land flat. From here, pushing out, up from the shoulder. Working all those pushing muscles. Three, trying for 11 of these or so. 4, that's how many I've gotten so far. 5, 6, 7, almost done, last set. 8, 9, 10, and 11, and relax. And last exercise, doing a row. Man, my heart is just going. How about you guys? 1, going for 12, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, nope, not getting to 12, 9, 10. Oh, and that can happen in the last set where the muscle is more fatigued. So I adjusted accordingly, dropped that set down to 10. Last one, last 10. 1, 2, 3, finish strong, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And that's why I didn't start on my right side. If I had started on my right, I could have probably done 12 this side and then only 10 on this side. So I started with the weaker side. That way I can keep it even between the two. So, thanks everyone for being here, and hope to see you guys on Wednesday at 11 o'clock Pacific time. Take care.